course, as soon as I start doing this challenge, they announce a game that has gun. I mean, come on, that would have been way better. You couldn't have released it like a little earlier. Anyway, America! Yeah! Play the music! Wait, no, stop the music. I can't have that sort of language on my all-American, family-friendly channel. Today is the 4th of July, 2026, America Day number 250. And I'm gonna celebrate it the way any red-blooded, freedom-loving, hamburger-munching, gun-shooting, oil-using, giant pickup truck-driving, communist regime overthrowing, metric system not using American would, by delivering some freedom to some random country I can't even find. How about this one here, Fodlan, a country from a game developed by Japanese companies that seems to be sort of vaguely European vibes, I don't know. Either way, it's not America, so I'm gonna go liberate it. Okay, but how do I theme a three houses one around America? I did the Mongol one, but that was easy. Horse. The Mongols are known for one thing, and it's horse. America's got a lot of things, and I can't do them all. The logistical capacity, can't do that, the game handles it for you. The Navy's really big. There's no naval combat, though, I can't do that either. Wait, how about the Air Force? It's also really big. There are flying units, and if I keep up this trend of doing historical country-themed challenges, most of them won't have Air Forces. So you know what, yeah, sure, flyer-only run. Once my characters reach level 10, when the first flying class is unlocked, they're only allowed to be deployed in flying classes. Second problem. Flyer only is this close to being the optimal strategy. That's not a hard enough challenge, so I add more. America's one in a long line of countries that engage in the honorable practice of throwing money at the problem until it goes away. So I'm only allowed to use the most expensive available item in all the combat relevant categories that can be bought in the marketplace. Most expensive sword, most expensive shield, and healing item, and so on. Upgraded versions of weapons, basically anything that ends in plus, counts as the same weapon as its base form. I'm also allowing unique items such as heroes relics on top of that. And also battalions are legal, all of them, because I want them to be legal. And I have the right to play this challenge however I want. 21st Amendment, look it up. I'm also not allowed to have tea parties, because that's British. And I'm going to be playing Crimson Flower because that's kind of like the Revolutionary War. Okay, I'm mostly playing it because Eagle, but yeah, let's just start the challenge. Right, while past me plays through the prologue, which is no different because I haven't unlocked flyers or the marketplace yet, let's talk about what I can do with my troops. They can't join flying classes immediately because of level requirements, so I'm allowing free choice of beginner classes. Once they reach level 10 though, they're only allowed to deploy into a battle in flying classes, starting with the Pegasus Knight. Now, the Peg Knight is female locked, so I'm going to have to bench the male characters after that point, and oh shoot, I picked male Byleth. As I was saying, the Pegasus Knight is the only legal class from levels 10 to 19, which basically forces me to use the Girl Squad until level 20 and Wyvern Riders. I got a head start on leveling the female Black Eagles during the mock battle. The male Eagles are going to be used in purely supportive roles only when necessary, because as soon as they reach level 10 I can't use them and therefore cannot level them. Students recruited from other houses join at level 21 by chapter 11, so I should hold off on recruiting male students until then, and oh, hello Sylvain, nice of you to join us. God dang it. As for weapons, some units start with iron weapons in their inventories, which are more expensive than training weapons, so I can't use any training weapons for the mock battle, which honestly isn't that big a deal. Immediately after that though, the marketplace unlocks and carries steel weapons, which means I can't use iron ones either. So the pros, we get some good damage off our steel weapons. The cons, steel weapons are a bit less accurate than iron ones, but mostly the problem is availability. There's limited stocks in the marketplace. Even if there weren't, we don't have much money yet, and even if we did, they require D rank in their respective skills, so I need to train my guys in them before they can even fight. This all meant I went into the Force Auxiliary battle with few options, because I couldn't afford that many steel weapons, and also unlocked Pure Waters, which meant I can't use Vulneraries anymore. It's okay, because Edelgard can hold off the flankers on her own, but it's still a bit annoying. I could afford a few more steel weapons by the time of the battle against Costas, bought some for the boys in case I needed their help, and I did, but ultimately there weren't too many issues. The Chapter 3 battle is a bit more annoying than it needed to be because I forgot the way you play that one is cower in the bushes while letting Catherine do all the work, at least until you can lift the fog. Once we did, we went back and farmed XP while letting Catherine get herself killed to Gambit, then went back up and took all the glory for ourselves. In Chapter 4, I unlock tea parties, and immediately give the fish in the pond the biggest dose of caffeine they'll ever experience. Wait, I don't have to pay taxes on that tea, do I? Anyway, I entered the Holy Tomb having prepared the Byleth Bait battle plan. Have Byleth stand just inside enemy range and insult their mothers to lure them in, then beat them up. It goes well, until I blunder away all my divine pulses handling the reinforcements. But just as it seemed like I would have to take responsibility for my actions, everyone on my side forgot how to gambit good and Byleth missed a 92% Tempest lance, so yeah, it is their fault that they almost died. They didn't die though, and now I have a legendary Divine Dragon Super Sword, so the IRS can't take my money. In less important news, I'm finally ready to found a United States Air Force. Byleth, and soon-to-be Mother of the Nation, Adel George Washington, have qualified from the Peg Knight class, and are now ready to start Peg. The first deployment of the USAF was at Conant Tower, where one of them developed the first aerial combat theory, which I've called Orc Theory, because just like the Orcs, she can't flippin' hit anything. After explaining to her that the Orcs make it work by using guns, which we can't do because Fortune's Weave isn't out yet, she tried aiming at the enemies, and we progressed to the Corner of Doom. By reusing the Byleth Bait battle plan, in conjunction with the Corner Break patent pending, we made it past Miklan's melee-based anti-air systems and to Miklan himself. We had to call in the artillery on the Black Beast, but we weren't in any real danger. The Air Force expanded greatly during Chapter 6, and then we took our planes underground to rescue a person we'll probably kill later, and a person we'll definitely kill later. I couldn't be bothered dealing with the bottom left room, so we went down the corridors on the right, but none of that mattered because I illegally used a door key to let the infantry through. While replaying the map, I realised that at least 2 door unlocks are actually required to beat the map. One to enter the Death Knight's chamber, and either the one leading to the top left room, or the one leading to the room with all the warp tiles. Now I was going to just say, okay, I'll have to allow 2 door key uses or I can't beat the map, because I can't use the Thief class. Then I remembered that Ash can open doors with his personal ability, so I reloaded a seer from the start of Chapter 5 to recruit him. This was already annoying enough, let alone that I actually failed to recruit him and had to go to the start of Chapter 5 again. But halfway through redoing the Miklan battle, I came to a terrible realization. I had used a chest key back in Chapter 2. I had also overwritten all my saves from back then, meaning I have to restart the whole run. So I've managed to make Crimson Flower the shortest route in the game longer than any of the others. Okay, I'll skip to the interesting bits. Boring, boring, boring. Put that chest key in the convoy as soon as I get it. Catherine, what are you doing? You're going to get us killed. Put this chest key in the convoy too. Oh wait, forgot to chain Byleth and flying. Gilbert, what are you doing? This is why I have to get you killed. Okay, I've recruited Ash, and I left it too late. He's level 11, and I have to go back again. It's fine. Just go back to the start of the Holy Tomb battle, because I forgot to save after it. Okay, yada yada. More battles, back to Chapter 6 with Ash, and even though 2 of my new airwomen, Shamir Pulaski and Bernie Sanders, forgot how to shoot, I made it to the Death Knight. It was then that I discovered that the triangle attack is not a guaranteed crit in this game. Undeterred, I enacted Plan B, which I had everyone drill for just in case the Death Knight survived. Panic, run around, flail arms, and get Byleth killed. It's all good though. This experience proved that there was a path to victory. Fish for a crit until I get it. Oh hey, I got it. Oh, speaking of, they're holding a fishing tournament this month. But, you know, I feel a bit under-equipped. Let me just, why did I leave this? Ah, here it is. Anyways, time for a military exercise to prove America's superiority.
Professor, if it were up to you, how would you approach this battle?
Good question. I would go in guns blazing. Yeah, brother, I love me some overwhelming firepower, and we're surrounded. That simplifies things. Right, ladies, break through their line. Wow, those other Peg Knights got hands. Right, I'll deal with them first. That does give the Blue Lions enough time to enter battle and get completely rinsed by the Golden Deer. Although Dimitri is more than capable of one-man armying them, and Lysithea heard him talking smack. We mostly end up mopping up the Golden Deer stragglers after the battle was done, then go in to face the last surviving Blue Lion, and I'm sorry, when did Mercedes become immortal? Okay, she's down. Now, we can mostly incapacitate Claude by just, you know, violently invading his personal space, but can't actually attack him safely. Except for Byleth. And Ingrid, apparently. And that was enough. Anyway, for some actually important news, they just opened a Walmart outside the monastery, and it's selling silver bows, killer lances, hammers, steel shields. Time for a spending spree! Although because there's a limited stock, I actually ended up with more money afterwards than I did before. Trouble is, between the small number of weapons I have and their lower durability than steel weapons, I was already running out of weapon uses by the time I got to Ramire. I think the challenge just started for real. It's okay though, I won, even saved all the villagers for the first time ever. And after Dorothy and Ingrid's paralogue, Fodlan got to bear witness to Benjamin Franklin's 5th greatest invention, Yuri. It seems Ingrid disagrees with me. And to be honest, I really wish he'd discovered the secrets of alchemy instead, because I could really use the gold. Granted, maybe spending all of my money on black sandsteel wasn't the best decision, and I may have taken until this, my 7th playthrough of the game, to realise that smithing costs gold as well as materials. But, yeah, it's fine, everything's fine. In other news, the battle at the deserted chapel has been won by our brave soldiers with little difficulty. Aerial drone footage captured these remarkable shots of US ally Gerald Eisner not getting himself pointlessly killed as he was expected to. Indeed, Lieutenant Colonel Alione Hamilton reported that he made 2 critical contributions to winning the battle, all without sustaining any injuries. That is until, and I quote, "that heartless Monica stabbed him in the back. Just wait till I get my hands on her, I'm gonna..." She actually made those beeping sounds to our interviewer. She said something about the CERO demanding it, and refused to elaborate further. The battle in the sealed forest was also pretty easy. I did waste a few divine pulses just because I wasn't paying attention, but it all evened out as Violet and Ingrid made Crony look like the tiny little pathetic little weebus she really is on the inside. Solon didn't like that though, and cast a forbidden spell, Taxation Without Representation, to banish Byleth into the Tyranny dimension. Faced with oppression such as this, I am forced to reveal my true form earlier than planned. To safeguard the will of the people and counter the forces of despotism, I become the living manifestation of freedom, Lady Liberty. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and kicking someone's ass! Incidentally, in the Virginia Declaration of Rights, the protection of a person's property is also listed in the context of the fundamental and natural rights of mankind. Although it didn't make the Declaration of Independence, I honoured it anyway by giving the lost items to the people I can't recruit anyway. Then, I defended the church's right to their property. Then Rhea tried to take my property right out of my chest, but joke's on her, the heart's on the left and that's my skeletal side. Thing is though, having the right to property isn't the same as actually having property, and I've been struggling just to maintain the weapons I do have. I went on Sedith and Flame's Paralog for the Spear of Assault and Keyhole Wyvern Co, but they're both A rank, no one can use them. It's okay though, the impending collapse of my inefficient logistical network doesn't matter if it happens after we win the game. So let's put the British at a Garrick mark. Now I'll give them credit, the Brits didn't make it easy. Between their giant monsters, strong units, and actually moving, they really pushed us hard. And our allies, Henderson, Robinson, Ladislava, and Randolph didn't help much. Still couldn't stop us though, and in one decisive battle we have destroyed the British presence, and goodness gracious, it's King George! Ooh, I think I got hit in the head there. What, 5 years you say? The British are still here, and we still don't have enough money. I mean, that sucks, but what am I supposed to... Oh wait, that's it! The answer's been right under my nose this whole time. I know how to make money. Bloodsport! Huh, it really was like Fortune's Weave all along. Anyway, the British have allied with King Dimitri to oppose the rights of man. We need to defeat them both to safeguard liberty. So obviously, step 1, kill Claude. But first, we gotta take this bridge and kill this lady. Now, easy. America's supreme. There's no point on this earth that is beyond our reach. None of our enemies can escape. Oh wait, she's escaping. No, she didn't. As long as we don't kill this paladin, Judith won't run. So we just don't kill the paladin. We just fly out of range, we also bombard them, forcing them to stay put, and then we triangle her. Like I said, none of our enemies can escape. Now we kill Claude. Walls, water, psh, we don't care. We go where we want, and from the heights of the sky we see all... Wait, where do those ships come from? Now is an excellent time to perform a tactical maneuver, drawing the enemies into a pre-designated kill zone. I leave myself to smite the Bow Knights with the radiant glory of liberty, while the others draw the Almiran air forces to the corner. We destroy our enemies, regroup, then strafe Claude's guards. I go in to triangle him, and weapon malfunctioned. Fear not, we can deploy Benjamin Franklin's 4th greatest invention, Blonde Woman with Spear. Nobody ever thought to make Blonde Woman with Spear before Franklin. Truly a genius emblematic of his time. With Claude dead and his random country that wasn't involved thoroughly liberated, we returned to Washington to plot our next move. Having spent the month buying some fancy new equipment, but not the materials I need to actually maintain them, we got some surprising news from our scouts. The British and Canadian forces that had burnt down the White House during the War of 1812 had enjoyed it so much that they'd gone back in time to try and do it again. Oh, well, not again, because this will be the first time, but then... and the War of 1812 would be again, but then that was their first time, so the first time was also the second time, and as it happens, I also travelled back in time, and I told me that if I defeat this guy here before turn 12, they won't be able to start the fire. And boy did he make it easy for us. Flame's group got separated by the terrain, but still put up quite the fight. After beating them, I discovered that future me, much like present me and past me, is a liar. Fun fact though, the fire only hurts them. The survivors of this battle would go on to report this to King George, knowing that no sane person would make a blunder like that twice. Before that though, we exploited Sedith's main weakness, having friends he cares about. Just surround him, viciously attack him, forget about the other person we need to kill, turn back time, kill her, then viciously attack Sedith again. Next, we told everyone we were going to go straight to decapitate the enemy, but instead, we went here. You see, this fort is called the Silver Maiden, and we're still a bit short on cash, so we're going to melt it down into merch, which will sell around the world and funnel the proceeds back into slapping the British upside the head a bit. The fortress was defended by giant T-powered mech thingies, but we planned to counter them with Benjamin Franklin's third greatest invention, the Da Vinci tank, but the prototype was destroyed in a tragic spray cheese accident, so we had to improvise. The new plan was just go over the wall. We go over the wall, they can't go over the wall, so we go over the wall and kill them, and then go over the wall and they can't kill us because they can't go over the wall. That made short work of the normal enemies, and as for the giant T-powered mech thingies, we just didn't. Okay, it's time. The Brits and their allies have gathered in one place. If we beat them here, they won't be able to sustain the war effort, so let's beat them here. Priority target 1 is the Bishop, that's some distance north of us and also in the future. As long as she lives, they'll be able to summon reinforcements, so we gotta kill her. Therefore I send Byleth north immediately to meet her when she spawns, and things go completely sideways at the first sign of resistance. I just about managed to barely contain the situation, and tried to sneak around a dude before he transformed, but he did anyway, and also these guys shot all my archers. So I went back and methodically ground through all the monsters so I could get repeatedly shish kebabbed by Dimitri. So that cost me my last gambit and divine pulses, then I killed him and then I got killed. So I'd chalk that up as a victory, yeah. Yeah, so this battle was a real pain in the everything. For attempt 2 I decided to try swinging down after dealing with the Bishop, and after a frankly embarrassing series of misses and misplays, I tried the plan and it turns out there's no safe place to hide at the bottom of the map when the Brits appear. Got all George though, then got obliterated by the local wildlife. Attempt 3 went differently. Well, it started the same, and it also ended the same, but the bit in the middle was different. Attempt 4 actually went differently. We killed the Bishop more easily, then methodically sterilise everything between here and there. I then planned to beat the British army out and fly around until I could isolate old George and murder him extra hard. It worked, apart from the bit where we murder him extra hard. I think Edelgard misheard me. Honestly, I'm surprised he heard me at all with those side bombs. Attempt 5 I did the same thing, except I fumbled it against the monsters, and then I fumbled it against the monsters, and then I got Bernie killed when the church unit spawned. So anyway, if I move here, I can be at a spell use, and then just sort of launch everything in that general direction. That was for Bernie. And this is because I want to beat the map now. So yeah, we won. Oh wait, we didn't. They've retreated to the city. Right, we can ignore the left and the right, just go down the middle. These guys at the front, easy. T-powered mech thingy, easy. Central Falcon Knights, scary, but we dealt with them. Bolting Mage, easy. These guys that I forgot about them. Gilbert, relatively easy. These Falcon Knights I forgot about them. Other T-powered mech thingy, easy. These guys that I now remember, now easy. Catherine, easy. Cyril, not easy, but we got lucky. Third T-powered mech thingy, easy. These guys that flank you when you attack the boss, they flank you when you attack the boss. Oh, when the boss itself, not easy. This one also took a few attempts, even though I knew the plan right from the beginning. Push up through the center, try not to forget about the ambush spawns, clear out Gilbert, the Kingdom General Sniper and Warlock, Catherine and Cyril, then, I don't know, the boss is kinda tough. Each enemy or group of enemies has its own specific plan. For the front enemies and Central Falcon Knights, have Byleth draw them into your trap, in America, and then hit them with everything. For the two bolting mages, kill them from a distance with Benjamin Franklin's second greatest invention, the lightning rod. The science of it is beyond the understanding of most mere mortals, but basically you get a metal pole, you put it on your house, and then Yuritsa smites your enemies. For Gilbert, just beat him with hammers. For the sniper, dismount and draw him in, then beat him with hammers. For the ambush spawns, hang out just outside their attack range when you trigger them. The ones on the back are spread out so you can deal with them over a few turns. For the giant T-powered mech thingies, you need one person to breathe their lances, then you chain effective attacks until their shields break. Also, turns out they can't go downstairs. Once you've exterminated them, it's just Catherine, Cyril, and the boss. Catherine is easy to approach because of this blocked off area above her, but you'll need a gambit to have any chance of hitting. Cyril proved much more deadly. He's fast enough that we can't approach him safely, and strong enough to kill everyone we use his bait. The plan that ended up working is letting him get swept up with these guys after killing the warlock, then luring him into your trap, in America, then just kinda throw everything at him. I don't know, it doesn't have to be pretty, just do it until he's dead. Now, even with the full might and fury of the USAF, I had no idea I was supposed to kill the Immaculate One. Let's see here, 4 massive health bars, heavy damage reduction, immunity to crits, free choice of physical or magical damage, enough stats to instantly murderify almost anyone, and a big, giant and also large AoE attack. Quite the formidable opponent it seems. Except she can't heal. We can. So we just kinda wear her down over the next, 20 turns or something. And that was a bit of an anticlimactic end. I can salvage this. On this day, the United States of America has achieved peace, and more importantly, freedom, over all the land of Fodlan, never to perish from the earth. Violet and Edelgard, who would become known as the founding mothers of this new nation, were ready to set about creating a more perfect union, one which would stand as a shining beacon of liberty to the world. Unfortunately, 20 years of living as a British subject made Violet psychologically dependent on tea, and she promptly keeled over and died of withdrawal.